looking at the bracket, there are some big names that can maybe stop him. Chance recently hit 6K on the Korean ladder, so he's looking in form. Miyamaka is always a wild card as well. So it's and the mate, you know, True, he's here too. Massive shout out to True.
He is. Yeah, I believe he's streaming his POV if anybody wants to catch that. But yeah, regardless, we are going to be kicking off our TvT here. Now on Hotwire LE, we're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We have a blue Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Shopify Rebellion. We have ByuN.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have a Russian Terran player representing Storm Gaming. It is Nicoract.
He's already proven himself in TvP, not just when he faced Starduck earlier on, but also when he faced Showtime a couple of weeks back. Now let's see what he can do in TvT.
Yeah, that's why, like, I'm not feeling too, like, dreaded about this TvT. I'm like, oh my god, are we gonna see long siege lines? Like, based off the series that we just watched, I'm like, alright, when's he pulling the boys?
Yeah, show us a cheeky build, mate.
Like, when is it? When, like, I'm getting vibes, man. I'm getting like Russian Skylar vibes. Like, let's go.
Russian Sky.
Like, if you're not pulling the boys, you're not playing StarCraft. Like, you know.
Apparently not. But that's also kind of why I'm a little bit worried here, because we have seen in the past, you know, we have a couple of Terran players. Who was it? Somebody from Singapore, I don't remember his name.
Hero?
We're in TvP. Yeah, Hero, actually, with an I, not with an E. But every TvP and every TvZ, he would do a 2-base pull, and then no matter how it ended up, he would win or lose, that's what he would do. But in TvT, slow siege style mech, and I'm hoping that's not the case here for a Russian Terran player.
Yeah. I mean, we'll eventually find out. We also have to keep an eye on ByuN as well, because there are some Korean players that they're like, you know, we'll just play a normal standard macro game. But when they're up against someone who they do feel like the immense favorite, they will just like throw their weight around. You know, they'll just like, you know, do whatever they can to abuse their opponent.
Yeah, I think of Rattata here.
I was thinking of like Dark. I was thinking of. But yeah, ByuN versus Rattata, true.
Never let that go.
Never, mate, never.
But yeah, but in the meantime, it does look like he is just trying to suss out what Nicoract is up to, as is Nicoract to ByuN.
Yeah, exactly. You know, ByuN, he just lost his first Reaper. He did get an SCV and he did delay the CC a little bit, so he got something for it, but that means that Nicoract does have a bit of an advantage, but no, ByuN shoots first!
Yeah, already with his defensive, well, I say defensive, but he's going to be sending this across the map pretty much immediately now that the threat back home has been dealt with. He was already working on those defenses, and now Nicoract, well, he does have a wall back at home, to his main base at least, so... And he has a Cyclone.
Yeah, he's at the moment he is sending his Marines over towards that Reaper cliff just in case. Speaking of, Reapers are making a beeline straight forward. At the same time, Hellions are heading into the natural, and yo, CC isn't done. Can they deny this? Can they delay? Up,
volley! He does get the delay by a millisecond. Literally a millisecond. Meanwhile, the Reapers do zoom past the Marines, and they actually get quite a number of SCV kills.
Jesus Christ. 4 SCVs in total go down. The one Hellion isn't done, wants to get a little bit more damage, but the Cyclone should be more than enough to push this back. And I'll be honest, Yaku, when those Hellions dipped into the natural, I was like, even though I was saying it, I was like, there's no way that he delays this. There's no way. And then he does it. I was like, what?
Yeah, maybe not the biggest delay in the world, but yes, you still don't want to be losing an SCV like that.
I mean,
if nothing else, then you know it's a moral victory for your opponent.
It does affect your mental. Like if you're in Nicoract's shoes, like it's so annoying. It's like it's just the frustration slowly builds up in your mind. Like, oh my god, I can't believe that I had to send another SCV there to finish it building. Now he's across the map. Ooh, with a bit of a double Cyclone drop. Another medevac that's getting focused down.
And that's a little bit of target firing. No! I was gonna say,
Oh,
and
God.
immediately he taps out just like that. I was gonna say, you know, at least he keeps one Cyclone alive, but man, I was feeling bad with that loss, and Nicoract apparently felt the same way.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, that was brutal. Nice target fire there by ByuN. But you can see how valuable things like you can't just throw away 2 cyclones like that, right? Like that's a massive gas investment.
It's a massive gas investment. It's also pretty much the bulk of your army supply.
Mm-hmm.
The bulk of your army supply early on. You're losing your I almost said Hellions to cyclones like that early on. Against a player like ByuN, you're just inviting him to move to your side of the map and harass you to death, pretty much.
Pretty much, mate. Brutal. Again, it was nothing major, but like there were like these little small things that ByuN was getting ahead in, you know, with the SEV kills, with the Reaper kills, and with the delays.
It absolutely stacks up.
It does.
Absolutely. But with that, I'm hoping we do see another bit more of an active build coming up for him as he did in TvP, but that is to be determined as we continue our series on Glittering Ashes LE, the only 2 maps we've seen so far tonight. See if there's a difference as we continue. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have a blue Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. Arguably the favorite in this current bracket, but we'll see if that ends up being true. He is, of course, going to be representing Shopify Rebellion. We have ByuN.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the Russian Terran player. He is red, representing Psy Storm Gaming. Currently down in this series, but not out. Not yet. It is Nicoract. Nico.
Not XPA.
Not XP.
You're wondering. It's a different Nico.
So we know a couple of Nikos in StarCraft. I'm very fond of Nico.
Oh, yeah.
They're better Terran players as well.
They are. I just realized that.
Yo.
They're
Nicoract?
No, wait. Nico's from Germany.
Yeah. It's gonna be like, yo, Nicoract XPA confirmed?
It's a Russian XPA.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but here's what I have to say. I'm hoping that game number 1, you know, it's just a warm-up game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it really would be a shame to see something similar happen here in game number 2. Honestly, I just want to see a lot more Nico here, as he's a player who I'm curious about.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we didn't really get too much from him in his first game against ByuN. Like, let's be honest. Like, he didn't really get to get into his build, get into the swing of things. He was interrupted too much before that happened. So hopefully on a bigger map like Glittering Ashes, we get to see more of how he approaches this and get to see a lot more of his personality in his play.
Yeah. When does he decide to pull the boys in TvT?
Exactly.
That's what I want to find out.
We'll keep an eye on it. He better pull it at some point. You know, don't disappoint us, buddy. All right. But I also wanted to give a bit of a shout out as well to some people in the chat that have been showing up. Massive shout out to Quirky Casts. We didn't get to mention it, but there is a Matcherino page for this tournament. Exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat. And Quirky added, oh my god, a couple people. Quirky added 50 USD.
Yo.
And Sushi, the owner of Alpha X, added 15 USD. Oh my god.
Is it wrong of me that I thought it would be the other way around?
You're like, yo, Alpha X only $15? Mate, what's going on? What's happening with Alpha X?
Look, I know it's Lunar New Year. I know you had to put in, you know, money to give your nephews and your nieces rip packets. But you know, throw some rip packets our way.
Jesus Christ, Yaku. We didn't get to mention that as well, but massive shout out to everyone who does celebrate it. It is Chinese New Year today. Oh, yesterday and today, I guess. Yep, the second day, so hope everyone is enjoying themselves. Unfortunately, we did get messaged by a couple of players from Southeast Asia and Korea as well, who were like, yo, I'd love to play, but Chinese New Year's, you know, I'm spending time with my family.
Oh my lord, there's a lot of Reapers. I kind of missed that.
Oh my god, yeah, and do you know who else missed it? ByuN! What the Oh! Oh!
Nico gonna sacrifice one of his Hellions here. And is the Cyclone Kiting gonna be enough? The SCVs are starting to line up a little bit, but the Hellions, unfortunately, they are targeting down the Cyclone. Both of them go down, and it is only Reapers on this side of the map. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have that drop coming in for ByuN, and it is starting to mess up that mineral line.
There are reinforcements here as well. The Marines are doing the best they can. The SCVs are pulled off the line as well. Meanwhile, it looks like the Reapers, for the most part, have been dealt with. Only 2 Reapers remaining here across the map, but ByuN is not done.
That he is not. Use a couple of those KD8 charges to the best of his ability. He's still trying to kill this, by the way. Hey, he saw the auto turret get thrown down, and he thinks, you want me to run? Do you know who I am? And with the cajones of ByuN sticking there through the fire and the flames, he takes game number 2 and the entire series 2-0. And we thought it was going to be a long TvT, or I kind of thought it might have been a little bit.
We didn't know what we were stepping into, mate.
Yeah.
Oh my god. GG, well played. Congratulations to ByuN as he does advance on in this bracket, and that was a wild game as well. Like, it was kind of best case scenario for Nicoract. Like, he avoided the scout, he avoided the drop, and we kind of got into like a base trade-esque scenario there. But ByuN's control with that one drop, like, he was microing so hard with it. He was picking up and dropping his Reapers.
I guess he's some really old school ByuN vibes back when, you know, he was streaming a lot more regularly. That's the thing he would do so often, juggling his individual units with his medevacs.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't see that too often from him nowadays, but glad I got to see it again. And my heart does go out a little bit to Nicoract here. I mean, what time is it over in Russia? Like, stayed up quite a while. Or, oh, actually, I think he just woke up.
It's like midday. It's like midday.
Yeah, it's like midday. Okay. It's not too bad, but yeah, that's kind of how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, pretty much. Crazy, mate, crazy. I mean, what I wanted to add as well is that, you know, again, shout out to Nicoract for competing today, because I was also very impressed with how he played against Starduck. You know, Starduck, he's a player, he's a GM, he's one of the best Protoss in all of Australia, so very impressive for him to get a win there and advance on. Yeah. It's a shame that he faced ByuN so early, but regardless, like,
yeah,
I'm proud of him.
Just how the seeding worked, I suppose. We'll get better seeding next week, hopefully.
Yeah, that's one of those things where, if you're wondering, our seeding for today's tournament is random because it's the first edition, but in following weeks it will be based off of previous performance, so seeding will get better as the weeklies go on. Yeah,
that they will. Like, Sushi's about to call me out here in the chat as I'm just catching up with everyone.
God damn it, Yaku. Less than 3. We love, I know it's 2 minutes from now, but we love you, Sushi. We love all the support that you provide and everything that Alpha X is doing. Yaku, he's just ribbing you a little bit.
We love you, Sushi. The support you have for us, for the Alpha X players, for basically every player out there with all of these Alpha X tournaments and the Alpha X casters as well.
Yeah, and we hope to see some Alpha X players in the coming weeks. Again, we know that it is, of course, Chinese New Year, but, you know, players like Ragnarok, Australia,
we almost got Demi today, but technical difficulties did interrupt him.